Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's his next move? Let's find out in the charts here. Oh my goodness. You know what we're seeing here. This is not good. Hopefully this is just, a failed move because fast move in the wrong direction. We're going to talk about that possibility and more in today's episode. Right? My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. We're going to be looking at possible dead cat bounce with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Will they bounce higher? Will we see some major moves for the major cryptocurrencies? And will it be possible for some sort of turnaround? We're going to talk about that and more in today's episode, as well as why I think we're seeing all this downward movement in Bitcoin when inflation is running away. Okay. Well, let's get on to the charts and talk about what's going on in the price. And yes, as you know, M's and W's is what we're looking for. And we're seeing an M here. No W. However, the good news is, right, an M is also a potential W in disguise. A possible M is a potential W in disguise. So what do I mean by that, right? So let me just draw that out once again for you, because although you saw that M there, right, there could be like a nice juicy W right here coming up, right? So if we can get that W happening, we could see a potential move, not anything big, not anything like, oh my God, we're going to a new bull market, right? But, something to start us off, right? Something to like wet our chops on, you know what I mean? So a break of right about here, around the 43.8 level, 43,800 level, right? Could see, oops, hang on, screw that up. Let me just close that. Could see Bitcoin head up straight up to that downward sloping trend line, which is slowly connecting with the support level here at $45,500, $45,500. Oh God, no. Oh, we can't catch a break, right? Not at all. That's all it's probably gonna say. We're heading up here, and this is where you probably want to sell some Bitcoin as this thing probably comes back and hammers the lower level of 41,000 once again to see if we can break it. Probably not going to break it on the second try here. You might want to count this as the fourth try, but because you can see 1, 2, 3 times we tried already. So we could break it on the fourth, but maybe not, because this is a cluster, so it could also count as 1. And so we might bounce off of that and head higher. So anything is possible, unfortunately. No guarantees from the management. It's most likely going to, come back down here. Now, this looks like either today or tomorrow we might see some sort of turnaround. If this thing does turn around in the next few days, yeah, we're going to see a movement higher up here. Now, can it break out from this downward sloping trend line? Of course it can. Of course it can. Right? But this doesn't mean that we're going a lot higher. Right? We could end up with a 49 handle, for example. That's a 78.6 or the 47 handle, right? At the 61.8. But that's not the breakout level. The breakout level we're going to see is the $53,000 mark. Looking at the indicators, whether or not it's saying on the daily where we should buy or sell, we can see we're in a buy zone, so most likely things are going well for Bitcoin there. As we can see, we're in a buy zone on the daily. So looking to see the indicator flip before we say, okay, it's game over. All right. Well, a lot of people want to know what the hell is going on here. Why is Bitcoin going down when, hey, all the indicators, everything, right? Inflation is like going going crazy. The Fed is promising a 2%, a whole 2% raising interest rate against the 7% inflation based on their false numbers. Honestly, you know what? The Fed's not dumb. They know what Bitcoin is. They know what it does. They know how it attracts people, right? To the fun to learn about the financial system. They can't have that. This was a problem back when they were managing the gold. They didn't manage gold back in the 80s, right? That's going into the 80s, right? On the 70s, and they regretted it. And now they're managing gold completely, and now they know that they have to manage Bitcoin. They've done a wonderful job so far with the commodities exchange, right? The CRIMEX, right, is COMEX is what they call it, but I call it CRIMEX, right? Basically, it's just the only two commodities is Bitcoin and Ethereum, where you can actually sign a contract for and not receive delivery of those actual contracts. And the same with Ethereum, the ETF. The ETF is not backed up by actual Bitcoin. It's backed up by the contracts on the commodities exchange, was backed up by nothing but dollars. And so long as that's possible, right, that's a way of them managing the price. But that's not all they need. Of course, they need you to not hold onto your Bitcoin. And so you're like, I'm holding my Bitcoin. I'm holding it at BlockFi, or I'm holding it at uHodler and earning 7%. I'm holding it at whatever place and getting an interest, right? Well, guess what? Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. And so somebody else is borrowing that, most likely the Fed, and selling it into a market. And then somebody else is taking those Bitcoins and putting it into these companies, right? And the Fed selling it back into the market. The companies that owe you those Bitcoins, they don't owe you a Bitcoin. They owe you dollar value. Now, I've had an argument with somebody saying that, hey, no, if you have to give, they have to give back the Bitcoin. Right? If it's custodial, no. As soon as you have custodial ownership, third-party ownership, and they lose the asset, the underlying asset, the only thing you can legally sue them for, is not for the asset itself, unless it's declared as money. That's a different thing. If it's declared as money, that's a different story. But if it's not legal tender, right? What they can pay you back in is legal tender, and that's that, right? You cannot sue them for the actual Bitcoin. You can only sue them for the value of the Bitcoin itself. And you're like, that's good enough. Okay, good. Glad you like that, because buddy, right? They'll pay you because it's backed up by printed press, right? And you might say, well, that's good enough. Well, you see, throughout history, right, when governments run out of money, they convert you to dollars or to the local currency, right, and say, here you go, we paid you, and then they revalue the currency. That's coming, and this is why they're supporting all of these third-party hold your coin kind of companies. This is my speculation, and I believe it. So, anyways. Make sure you own some of your DJ15 tokens, right? Owning a DJ15 token gets you percentage of my revenue, so make sure you get some of that. And if you want to get that indicator that's brightly showing you where to buy and where to sell, you can do that over here at payments.rockinbrainer.io. Links in the description below. Okay, so let's head over to Ethereum. Ethereum's got a big sell signal on the 4-hour. Right, doesn't mean that it's down and out for sure, right? Because you can see some of the buy signal here completely turned into the sell signal, and you might have be in the red here. So by the time this thing comes over here, so to give you the sell signal, so it's not always 100% functioning. You see, the sell signal probably is not as useful. Probably gives you a red, made you lose a little bit of money. When the buy signal switched over. So yeah, no signaling system is 100% accurate. It can only give you a higher percentage of wins over losses, and that's what this thing does. Buy, big win. Sell, big win. buy, big win here, somewhat medium win there. So, yeah, you can see that there is some cases where it works and gives you a nice win, and cases where it doesn't. So keep that in mind when using any particular signaling system, including the RockinBrainer's signaling system right here, which you can purchase for $300 or $2,500 per year. So, alrighty. As you can see, let's head up back. Back over to Ethereum. As you can see, we're pretty much shadowing a Bitcoin, and the reason why we're shadowing Bitcoin because they're both managed the same way. Just on a macro level, they're managed on a macro level the same way, right? So obviously, you can see the same kind of pattern on a macro level. On a micro level, not so much. But there it is. There's an M, which is also a potential W should this thing break and head higher. You see that the support level for this thing to break is the $3,370 level, approximately. You can see that I did mark this as 38.2 as well, that it's battling. A break of that, we can see all the way up to 61.8 as a target, which is the $3,660 level is where it's targeting should it break higher. Looking at the daily, we're probably in a buy location from way back when, and yes, it is, and it hasn't flipped over as well. So yeah, it looks like we're headed on a higher, headed higher on Bitcoin, on Ethereum actually as well. So who knows? I think tomorrow we'll see whether or not we actually turn higher for Ethereum. Okay, let's head over to the dominance. Right, the dominance breakdown again. We broke lower. We created a new low. Everybody got excited, and then what the heck is going on? This was a failed move. It was a fast move in the opposite direction, right? And no, not another failed move up. Oh man, come on. We got to roll over and get this puppy down, right? Because then this thing's gonna explode right here. You're already seeing like lots of green, and we're going to see some more green. So if you want to take advantage of that, you have to learn your little lady strategy and fast, because man, this is going to be a big alt season. So you want to participate in that right away. So make sure you take that free course on little lady strategy. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate everybody watching my shows. I will be doing another meetup here in Dubai. I really enjoyed the meetup. I talked about the same stuff I did about why Bitcoin is going sideways or down. And same with Ethereum. And yeah, I'm interested in also getting into the metaverse, right? Yes, it's not the Messaverse. My bad spelling on Twitter, but it was a typo with the freaking my iPhone. But anyways, I have to get going. Remember, Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it. Hopefully see you at the next meetup.